Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Chan, and for my final presentation, I'll be talking about a strategy I found really useful this quarter, the SQ3R reading method. I chose this strategy because I realized I was forgetting a lot of what I was reading, and this method helped me stay focused and remember more from my textbooks and articles I had to read for class. So first off, what is SQ3R? SQ3R is a structured reading comprehension strategy that stands for survey, question, and then the three R's: read, recite, and review. It was developed by Francis P. Robinson and is used to help students better engage with the text instead of just reading it passively. The idea is to interact with the content in a way that boosts understanding and memory. I found it helpful not only for dense textbook chapters, but also for reading academic articles and breaking down my lecture notes. So how does SQ3R work? The reason SQ3R works so well is because it promotes active reading. Instead of just going through the material, you're constantly asking questions and summarizing as you go. This kind of interaction strengthens your memory through retrieval practice and repetition. It also helps with metacognitive monitoring, meaning you're more aware of what you know and what you don't know. According to Bajork, strategies that introduce effort, otherwise known as desirable difficulties, can actually improve long-term learning. And further research also found that students using strategies like SQ3R had higher comprehension and test performance, especially in classes with a lot of reading material. So where did I use SQ3R? I mainly use this method in my dance cultures and context class. We had readings on topics like protest choreography and intersectionality that were really detailed and heavy in theory. I also used it for my Education 10 readings, especially when preparing for our quizzes and reflection journals. It made a big difference for me in classes that required a lot of reading. And how did I use it? So I followed the 5 steps of SQ3R. First, I surveyed the chapter by skimming titles, subheadings, and bold terms. Then I turned each section heading into a question, which gave me a reason to read more carefully. And as I read, I kept those questions in mind and looked for the answers through the text. After finishing a section, I recited key points out loud or wrote them down in my notes. Finally, I reviewed those notes the next day, especially before a class or a quiz. It helped me more it helped me feel more prepared and less overwhelmed. So what was the outcome? After using this method, I noticed several changes. First off, I was more focused while reading. I didn't zone out as much, and I also remembered what I read during class discussions, and I did better on quizzes compared to when I just used to skim. Most importantly, I felt more confident when participating in class because I actually understood what I read. And here's how I would adapt SQ3R for future uses. In the future, I'd adapt it in a few ways. For example, I'd use tools like Notion or Google Docs to organize my notes and questions digitally. And for students with ADHD or low focus, breaking the strategy into small time chunks could really help. Because personally, I have ADHD and I felt that breaking down the process into 4 different steps helped a lot more. It's also easy to apply this to different subjects. For example, you could use it in science to break down chapters on processes, or in history to help remember timelines. It also works well for online classes, where you can just apply the method to video transcripts or recorded lectures. And here are the references I used. And thank you for watching.